Hey everybody, Jeff here, Aromatics. It's a really beautiful evening. It's in September and it kind of got cold at night and sometimes cold during the day, and it looked like fall was coming a little bit early, but then now we're having that little bit of a heat wave where it's kind of hot and humid again. So I'm really enjoying that warmer weather as long as it lasts. So since it's the evening and I've been kind of craving some more stout blends since the colder weather happened to come by, and I was thinking of some maybe latakia blends that I wanted to smoke. And I was thinking there's a lot of different Englishes, and a lot of them, latakia is so overpowering that a lot of them tend to end up being the same. To me, like, it kind of takes something a little bit different to make something stand out. And so one of the Englishes that I enjoy and I'm going to review today is Dunhill's Nightcap. Now, this was the first English I ever tried. I remember it kind of has a place in my heart because I remember when I first started smoking, it was all different aromatics. And because I just thought, I thought of that grandfather type of thing when I think of pipe smoking. So I always was trying to find that blend that had that sweet smell. And at the time I was kind of new to pipe smoking and I wasn't tasting the flavors. My palate wasn't really matured yet. So I got to this point where I was like, okay, I heard of these other blends called English blends, although they don't really sound that appealing to me. What I should do is, since I'm not really tasting these aromatics like I think I should be, maybe what I'll do is I'll find the strongest blend I can think of, or that I can find, and I'll smoke that, and then I'll at least have an idea of what pipe smoking, what you can actually taste. I figured if I can't taste that, then what's the point? So I ended up, at that time, it seemed like the legendary pipe tobacco, really heavy blend was Nightcap. So that's what I ordered. It was pretty easy to get here in Canada, so I got my brother to pick me up some at a tobacconist where he lived, and he brought it down to me. And I didn't really know what to expect, but I ended up opening that tin and putting my nose in there. Whoa, I was like, that is nothing like what I expected. Like, I had no idea that it would smell. To me, it was like sticking your face into leather coats. To me, that's what it smelled like. Now latakia doesn't really remind me of that, or Nightcap, but at the time I remember thinking leather and just really strong smelling. So anyway, I went home, loaded it up and in my pipe, and I didn't know what to think. It was really strong, not strong, but just heavy and not sweet, or just tasted like leather coats and campfire. So I wasn't quite sure what I thought of it, but I could definitely taste it. So anyway, let me light up here while I'm talking. Smoking it in my homemade freehand with an unfinished stem. I have a better stem, but it's not filtered. This one can accept a 6mm filter. So yeah, one of the first pipe I ever made. Smokes pretty good. So anyway, yeah, Nightcap. So I wasn't quite sure. I ended up going, smoking my aromatics, and every once in a while when I was brave, I would try some of this Nightcap. But it's still, I didn't get a taste for any other pipe tobacco, even Englishes at that time. But the tobacco that did all of a sudden click for me was Penzance. I had some because I heard it was so good, and I just happened to be lucky enough to get a tin of it. So I smoked some of that Penzance, and then all of a sudden one day I was just like, this is pretty good. And then I ended up, I did order, before that I had some Billy Bud and some Havana Daydream, which at the time I thought tasted the same as Nightcap because latakia was just so strong. So anyway, I went back and I put those, I tried those again, and I just loved them. I actually, I remember having Havana Daydream first and going, this is pretty good, but I want more latakia. And I went to Billy Bud, and even that wasn't enough for me. So then, like some of us do, I ended up going through that English stage where I couldn't get enough latakia. And so anyway, that's my story of Nightcap. So, as Renee would say, T-Social D, what am I tasting? Well, in the tin, it definitely smells like a campfire-y leather, but there's this darkness to it that no other English that I've had has. It's like a black pepper. It's not like peppery on your tongue, but just that black dark pepper, a little bit of a fermented prune, that sometimes I get from a few different Englishes, but not as consistent as you get with Nightcap. That's what makes this, to me, a blend that I want to smoke when I'm in the mood for an English. That's what makes it unique, is that dark, peppery, black. It's so hard to explain. It's not just the latakia that's doing it. I'm sure it's the perique that's in there, but it's, I don't know if it's a special perique or what they do, but it definitely has a unique taste, and it's dark and it's rich and it's smoky, but at the same time you can still taste those Virginias. There's a little bit of that hay in there. There's some Orientals, so you get a little bit of that lemon butter kind of flavor and tanginess, but mostly it's just a nice leathery, peppery, like leather black pepper taste. Very satisfying, for sure. I don't think I packed my pipe correctly. Keeps going out. But it's not as scary as that people say either. There's definitely heavier blends. I've had like heavier latakia blends with more nicotine than this. This one doesn't really affect me nicotine wise. But yeah, I figured it's been at one time when I first started pipe smoking, Nightcap was fairly well spoken of quite often, and now you barely ever hear of it. So I thought, maybe it's a time to, bring it back out and remind people of what a good blend it is. And I know a lot of you guys probably have it in your cellar and are thinking, yeah, I haven't had Nightcap in a while. Because that's what it was with me. I haven't smoked it in a long time, but it's nice to break it out again. So there's not much else to say. It's just a really nice, rich English with that dark peppery note that no other blend has. The closest thing I've found to it is Cornell & Deal's Engine 99, but even that is just more, it doesn't always have that black peppery taste, and it's more Oriental forward. But since Dunhill it sounds like these blends are going to be remade again, definitely something to look out for is the new, whatever, I think Peterson now, so Peterson Nightcap, or if you can get a hold of the old Dunhill Nightcap, and you like a good English, I definitely recommend it. So, till next time, you guys take care, and I'll see you on my next review. Till then, Aromatics, signing out.